setting things up still a little bit for the scrollers, especially because I'm nice. So that's an interesting phrase. That would be a topic too. Talking about interesting phrases. My teeth. So as always, I kind of, especially when I'm feeling a little bit low energy and all that, I kind of like to wait until there's people tuning in. You're welcome to skip ahead. Sometimes I have the idea of talking for at least 15, 25 minutes, but before I kind of take a bit of a pause when possible. But, the thing is that I don't have a ton to say unless there's conversation. So, and I want to be saying something when people tune in. Sometimes it helps. So I'm just gonna wait until they do. Being reminded of the one I did the other day a little bit, by the way. Kind of the one topic. Oh. Jesus existence. I love that green color. At the same time, I don't have the radio on even lightly because I was listening to some other stuff. And it's quiet here. Very quiet. So, and I kind of want to jump around and do stuff. But I guess if it's stuff like online, otherwise I don't have that kind of energy right now. But if it's stuff that, I guess it's kind of what I was doing on here, but I kind of want to keep that open now, so I don't know. I didn't use this, but I typed it that one as use a speaker. Otherwise, it's actually quite loud enough, I would say, but anyway. Interesting. I don't get that guy's titles very much. It's another interesting aspect of this, actually, even more so than River Girls. Okay. I just want to check something. I'm pretty sure that, I pretty much already know, but it's well look. Yeah, it's not showing things in order, even when it says the latest. It's showing things mostly in order, but there was somebody on somebody else's chat. I actually told him to look via that guy's recent subscriptions. One was his mod, and one was somebody else. Because one had been kind of said something really nice to me, and I said, "Yeah, if you're curious about our content," he just liked my vibe. Can you blame him? You're like, I don't know, it's too early to tell. If that's the case, you haven't seen my content. Just kidding, but it's okay. Guys, start somewhere, right? But anyway, and I'm just a healthy governance and knowing the worth that I'm putting out there. Um, Anywho, but he doesn't show in the recent. Neither of them do, which is really odd. But apparently, well, I don't want to say one thing, but I don't understand it. But it is what it is. Anyway, hopefully they tune in. Hopefully somebody tunes in. I don't want to wait around much longer. But I've kind of been looking through these. I mean, eventually I do have to go from this. So is there something I want to put here and then do so? Well, that wasn't that up until today. Um, Pretty good at not getting windows kind of stuck on top of each other, so that's good. Um, no, there's not a whole lot, or that I feel like processing right now. Anyway, that's the other thing. Well, that kind of goes with what I wanted to. I don't know. It really wasn't much of content, like I say, but I thought depending on what people may come in and say, that might help generate some conversation ideas too. So, but there has to be people coming in and saying things. um, and I thought it was an interesting kind of topic that I did have, but like I say, just not not a lot to say on it, or at least that I'm thinking of right now. Um, but it was also because I'm not really doing anything else other than you know trying to feel better and looking forward to some upcoming things. Uh, you know, so you know it's kind of gray, kind of not. Doesn't look windy. Might go out and do something later. I'm not sure. It seems to be really soaking in fast for some reason. People, where are you? Come on, chop chop. Just kidding. Hurry up. No rush, just hurry up. That's the phrase we sometimes use. I'm almost tempted to see if I know anybody else that's live right now. I mean, I don't want to just tell them, but I could tell them, if you're finishing soon, please come to mine. Keep me in mind. If somewhere down the road you get lonely. Good. I put at least a little bit of singing in this. At least a little. Little on the top. Love Diablo, do you? Just kidding. I remember seeing her before, but yeah, it's a big breed dog. Sure is. Um, I've never chatted with her. I don't even know if I've ever watched. I think she was one that I discovered when I was scrolling lives, um, and whatever was going on in the moment didn't. If there was much of something going on, it didn't grab me. But when I was looking back at it later, I love her channel name, Sharing Love. So it looks like her content is about dogs, but I guess also probably love and probably the love of dogs. So, um, you know what? It might be better to do it this way. I know I told myself the other day I wasn't going to scroll lives, but I'm bored. Nobody's here yet, so maybe I will. Funny, we just had a pizza, and this is somebody's restaurant or pizzeria in Infinito. But then it doesn't open like a scrolling lives thing would open, and most of these are music things. That's kind of intriguing, although it doesn't look. Let me ignore that much. The other way, do I want to click it though? I don't know. Do I? I don't know. Do I? It is reminding me of my story, though, I'll tell you that much. I don't know. Do I? Sorry. I was kind of looking here too, right? I was. That I was. I should be looking to see if any comments are coming in. I think if somebody was willing to comment, they'd probably be liking also. Because, well, yeah. I hope like, okay, this looks like somebody I'd want to chat with. Like, chat. No, that's how we go. If not, you're on the wrong channel. And honestly, most people's channels probably wouldn't, because then it starts to seem like trolling or whatever. And it's funny because I actually know a couple of musicians who have a little poster thing up, and they it's a cover song because that's what they largely do. Even though they said something be careful with copyright, but that's all they do is music, pretty much. Chat a little bit, but so actually, come to think of it, I'm sure I've had that thought before, but when I have it having it now, it's like, so that thought doesn't really make sense. And 14 hours ago. Um, well, I suppose, I suppose she didn't want to answer that part. So, okay. She or they, I won't make them. Um, yeah, so, sorry, I thought I heard G coming downstairs. It just went up that long ago. So one thing I thought of talking about was how it's interesting how like here it is 10 o'clock, about 10 o'clock in the morning, but when I first saw it, it was about 9:30 and you left. I was just getting into it. Or maybe you haven't left, so I'm going to continue because sometimes that's inaccurate. But again, other than chatting, I don't have a whole lot of ideas, and it does seem like some people, certainly not some, but also others, yes, they're like, I just want to come and watch something. I don't want to be, you know, made to be part of the conversation. Maybe maybe they feel that they're introverted, although everybody is a little bit of both because they have to be in life. You have to coexist with, we have to coexist with each other, you know, as people, but, um, uh, I mean, for the most part, I don't mind if someone just wants to sit there and listen. It'd be lovely to know what they're thinking, kind of thing. And if they are, in fact, actually still sitting there, or if they just opened it and then watched for a few minutes and walked off somewhere or whatever, in their home or whatever. But uh, oh, um, oh, um, oh, I forgot to eat those last night. Oops. I did have something though, but I don't remember what. Anywho, but like I say, I don't have a whole lot to say. Which, if anybody sees this afterwards, I've already said that a couple times. They probably have turned off. But then also, they might be kind of curious about the title, and they might think, "Well, you must have had something to say because here you are." So, and especially if it gets longer, they might be like, "Okay, he must have had some interesting conversation then." So, I'd like to say yes. So, uh, I just want to check something for a moment and see if this is any different. Okay, now that's something I've just started to notice lately. Uh, that at the side, and that one that's what inspired it. At the side here, panel under subscriptions, it doesn't show everything, or everybody rather. And some of them are individuals, but like the first, I don't know why those blue dots are there, what that indicates. Because I watched that last night, and somebody said something happened last night, or even a couple of them this morning. Uh, I don't know. Maybe it means recently watched. Anyway, it's showing some people uh, that I subscribe to that are live. And so I'm just going to click one. And one person the other day, he was the guy that donated me because of my angelic eyes. Okay, I hate to interrupt him, though, because he's only been at it for 16 minutes. I'm going to check back on mine. Anything happening? Nope. Nobody's here. Nobody's here. Somebody later says, "Hey, I wasn't there, but I am here." And I am. So you were there, but you weren't all there. Right? Just kidding. It's just a phrase I have. Honestly, a lot of us could probably relate to it. To be quite honest, no, I thought I told this. I feel so mixed about it. I'll just say that again. I've been on this twice now. I would have contact with him from YouTube, which is somewhat of a rarity, and I like him, but he's been confusing by some of the things that he's said lately. It's seeming a little bit ridiculous or something, which is kind of odd. Why can't the menus always be the same? I don't get it. I had to see that one. That's what's keeping me from browsing them there because it's like I'm unsure whether I want to click that or not. So, yippee. Sorry, if people are wondering, because I just realized I just showed that on camera, I'm trying to fit. If chapstick's another one, lotion and chapstick. This is just it. I don't know if you saw this too, but anyway, yeah. Anyway, so there's still stuff in it, but it's not. I can't get out any other way than using something, and that's a good thing to use. So I must say it is kind of funny though. Even sometimes when I didn't think it was really loud, I was watching back one of the ones I did the other day with G, and he wasn't part of it, but I was watching back the part that he wasn't in because I do that sometimes, especially when there's something I want to show him. And I had the captioning on because the sound was dipping a little bit, and we were eating and all that, and it captioned my sniffles. I am doing it more because, like, I actually don't feel that stuffed up right now. But like this morning, I finally got up because it's like I don't usually sleep with my mouth open. It's like I wasn't able to breathe in and out otherwise with my nose. So that's kind of I'm very much of a nose breather. So actually, wait a minute. Well, I knew I was stuck up. But okay, anyway, where is everybody? This is wild. Oh, is that what's her face? I think it might be. And she's got one scheduled. And the live chat's already there. And at the moment, also not a whole heck of a lot. Maybe I should just made it one of those status things and then went on with my day. But I spent my last bit of money. I do have that errand, like I say, but I'm waiting for it to maybe get a bit sunnier out and for G to be available so we can maybe try doing it together. Definitely got snow on the ground now, though, so I don't know how my bike would do. But his is apparently winterized, and yeah, even though those numbers are down, it's close to 200, 300 bikes, though. Nope, too much. Well, this has been fun and engaging. I mean, it's only been 22 minutes. You know, sometimes it takes an hour, and then things really get popping, and sometimes it takes 30 minutes. Sometimes it almost takes two. But, you know, if I'm multitasking and able to keep the momentum going and having a lot to say and whatever, then it can kind of fly. The time. So I don't know because I mean I do 2 or 3 hour ones fairly often. Like I say, it often doesn't feel like it. I mean, it does kind of, but so that's why I don't understand. Like I saw a musician, and he got a couple people commenting right away because he said their name. It'd be lovely. I mean, especially when it's like, oh, it'd be lovely. So maybe you can engage with them about like what they post about and get their interest that way. Even if you are diverse, you might not be talking about something that the viewer is interested in, but if you can see who they are and you can go look, then see what they're about, then you have some topics. But um, the uh, but yeah, so otherwise it doesn't say until they comment. So because now that's higher up, or no, maybe it just kept the scroll. So because um, he did say it, that makes me think that he was getting comments pretty early, and he was older than me, probably 50 or 60 something. Um, and he rolled for like 7 something hours. I mean, there's been a couple recent ones where I've set my record at like 5 hours. So anything beyond that, I don't know how people do it. I really don't. I mean, if there's more than one person involved and one can kind of go wander off and do something, I haven't heard from those guys. They just wander off and do something, and the other one's there. And even if they're not like on camera doing something, but they're like maybe painting something and chatting, people can kind of zone out and get mesmerized and stuff, I suppose. But I don't know. And music, even if you love doing it and it's something that you do often, like it takes a different amount of energy. It can energize, and so can a lively conversation, even if it's just with one or two people. But it's really hit and miss. Depends on the algorithm. Depends on there's a lot of on this platform and stuff, right? But yes, I don't know how the heck he or anybody would do it. And that's a great segue to my other thing, but nobody's here, so uh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Don't know what to think about the title though. I don't remember subscribing to this person, to be honest. Maybe I accidentally did. I don't recognize her. Um, what's especially interesting is I was noticing of it the other day for the name that wasn't Glenn, it wasn't Jen with a J, it wasn't Glenda, it wasn't Jean, it was Gen. And that person passed away and was older, I think. But this person is streaming as we speak. I'm glad that when you click that, you don't actually have to. Yeah. There's something wrong with it on here. Still shocked, but I guess it just didn't go back and reload. Huh, maybe I was wrong. Maybe that one friend wasn't going to be online much longer because now he's not showing. Taking a quick scroll, like I say, it doesn't show all that many. Oh no, he is. He's just further down. I'm trying to remember who Lucas King is. Okay, piano player. It looks like maybe some pagan stuff. I don't know. I don't know. That's an odd image, to be honest. And I'm honestly not sure why it's showing because it looks like I've already presented it. I don't quite remember doing so, but usually I'm aware of what I'm doing. Um, yeah. So, and then there's no advertisement there. Just a moment. I'm just quickly finishing. So, yeah, see it right. See, that's it. Does it say it? What does it say it to? Sorry, just very quickly opening something I want to look at later. But if you're here now, you're meant to look like you are. So what I wanted to talk about is next is well, a couple things. There's a movie I'm kind of curious about, but also, yeah, I just think it's interesting. Like here, it's fairly early in the morning still, and yeah, like that's nice. Here's bedtime. Go to bed. At least it looks like you left. Maybe you didn't. But I'm kind of thinking at this point, maybe I should just say the thing I want to say and go do other things. Uh, Probably on mine until the sun actually has come out a lot more now. Just looking for a moment there. It's blue sky. Doesn't look windy. Once he's done his thing, maybe that he's doing, maybe we'll go do that errand. I know there's another way that we could do it, which doesn't involve going anywhere, but it might be nice to get outside for a bit. Of course, we do that with the dog. He's already done it this morning, so. But it's still relatively mild-ish for this time of year, so we should probably enjoy that before it's not. But speaking of kind of the opposite of that, so basically, yeah, like I say, it's early here, but I saw, I think last night, and I think I'd seen it once before, and then this morning, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like it was, that was the one that was this morning, I think, 9 hours long. I don't know if they just have a camera set up in the place. I guess in some ways it could be a security measure, which I guess kind of makes sense. But basically, if they go that one Friends too, whose video I could be I was inspired, and I thought it was like it was near the beginning of the row in one of the windows, near-ish, and I opened up the. But what I must have done was something for the other window there, and then it went to the end of the row, and like it's still there probably, but Liberty and the people in it. So okay, I'm kind of curious about that channel I was speaking about earlier. I mean, the truth is, those dogs need homes as well. You know, even if I wouldn't want to own that type, they. It's nice that somebody does because to think about something else happening to them wouldn't be very pleasant. Uh, so where is it now? I saw it just a moment ago. Here we are. Okay, there's something a little bit about her. It's not really a judgment. Two things actually that are a little bit distracting. Just a little bit. I'm not too sure. I discovered this guy a while ago, and he was doing something in his kitchen, and then he came and sat down and talked. And um, he's doesn't he speaks some English, but mostly not. So when some people, whether he was familiar with them or not, came in and was speaking his language or languages that he knew more, I guess I get it in a way. It was kind of like it's kind of like, okay, I think I'll focus on that then, you know. So I guess I do get it. But I just loaded this page, right? Yeah, I don't know why audio doesn't keep coming up. It says you got 25 people watching, so I would guess at least 10 of those are. I don't know. I haven't seen the numbers that high in a little bit, a lot of these, but I'm guessing that at least 10 of those are saying something. Yeah, if they're not, you know, I'm saying this even though it's not my content. They should be. Anyway, but yeah, so I just thought it was interesting how here it's, you know, bright and early and, you know, things are slow and I'm slightly under the weather, but I like to kind of pace the morning slowly, and I can usually. However, I'm not exactly sure where. Let me get the exact name of the place. Uh, Let me see here. I'm not exactly sure where Cooperstown is. I feel like I have heard of it. There might even be more than one in the world, perhaps. I'm going to guess the UK, possibly, or maybe I'm bad at geography. Is Ireland part of the UK or Europe? I'm bad, like I say sometimes. Anywho, um, I just know that it's a lucky place to live and there's lots of beer. Anywho, and it was a bar, and it was a 9-hour stream, still streaming, and jam packed with people, kind of like the buses I used to have to ride sometimes. I mean, it's cozy, and I guess I don't know. I mean, depending on I don't know. It seemed odd, like I don't know if like restaurants, they have a certain number of tables. Once they're filled, that's capacity, even in the, private rooms or whatever. So, I mean, at a bar, I don't know. I know that a lot of times, they do or should have like a or 2 or 3 drink limit. A lot of people can't handle more than one. But, um, and I just feel like that business shouldn't operate that way. Like, that's just too cramped. But it's interesting because I'm just thinking, nice and quiet here, loud and crowded there. And it's just, not only there, like around the world, people are doing all kinds of different things. Sometimes I'll find live streams at bedtime where, I mean, clubs, that could be the same time zone. It's just that they're late night partiers kind of thing. But there's a couple people briefly there for 2 or 3 minutes, I think. One a little bit longer than the other, I think. But clubs, yeah. But like, I don't know, you see people playing bingo or like with the friends, or whatever. It's like, yeah, I'm happy to be going to bed, kind of thing. So it's just interesting, kind of how the world kind of spins, and different things are kind of different time zones, doing different things. It's just a thought that I had. It said 2 again there for a moment, and I'm it's sometimes inaccurate and sometimes shows that there's nobody watching when there is. I'm hoping that the comment feature is fixed. It seemed to be the other day, but it was a little bit hard to tell because the one that got comments the day after the wonkiness got about like the day of the wonkiness, or at least for some of us, um, it would show like 5 or 6 comments, uh, and that's about how many she put. So, and even though we were getting ready to have dinner and this and that, and I was suggesting one of my other videos, uh, she kind of did stick around until we wrapped up. But I should have said, you know what? I'm going to roll a bit longer to have you put a few more comments to see if they continue to come through. Actually, probably. It's good to time how long it's been out because I started pretty much when it went up. Probably, probably a week or 2 prior to noticing that wonkiness, somebody had said to me, whose videos I chat on quite often. She chats with us, and she's been on mine a little. She had said to me, I saw 4 or 5, and then when I was watching hers the next time, she said, are you still there? Because there's something I got to tell you. And I was like, what do you got to tell me? And she's like, I was trying to put comments through and they weren't coming through. Like I guess she must have been sensing that I wasn't replying to something, or I was like, are you still there? Are you still there? And that wasn't the time when she was doing a bunch of cleaning just before Thanksgiving, I don't think. Anyway, so it happens, folks. It happens. Yeah, I'm not even sure I'm gonna like this movie. I mean, it's a comedy, in a family comedy kind of. So I'm thinking I probably will, but it's gonna be a bit. What's the word? Zany, maybe. Uh, and I just don't know if it's gonna be the type that G would like. So I don't know. I was thinking I might watch it today. I'm just trying to decide when to watch it. Really, a lot of people think that Sunday is not the start of a week. Some people do, and so if I think that it's not, then it's like, well, if I watch it today, then next week will be swell. So I may have time when I'm, outside of some of the stuff I'm doing or during. I might try to do a little bit of the event. I think that would be all right. I'm just not entirely sure what people are going to say, and I don't necessarily know if I want, where I'm at to be said. But I could be traveling. I could be. I know I said I don't often, but maybe I got an opportunity. You know, um, and have the device that has the data, so it doesn't seem to rack up the charges that quickly, actually. But so that's good because yeah, then I can use it for calling too. So like, gee, I'm glad I thought of things that you did. But and I'm glad I thought of that one thing I thought as well. Like, take a minute, so you go back to bed. You a bit more comfortable that you're okay because yeah, you certainly don't have to be up this early. I don't know why they said sunrise and breakfast and networking, but I don't know why they couldn't start that at 9 or 10. But they don't want to go too late too, probably. They must have a lot of things planned for it. So, but we'll see how I feel on the 4th. I mean, before I go, there might be some time. Uh, Afterwards, I might feel like I want it, but actually, I'm not going to get home that much ahead of G, and then we kind of have usually a bit of an evening routine. Uh, so probably uh, if I do it all, it'll be in the morning. But yeah, next weekend, uh, you get a bit of a day off of me. Sorry. But if you think, well, I just can't have that. I mean, I'm saying this 43 minutes in, and slightly jokingly, slightly with a bit of like say, a healthy ego, knowing that I post a lot of worthwhile stuff that some of it isn't getting noticed as much. So, um, but if you're seeing this far in, it is 43 minutes in, but whatever. Yeah, I guess I would say that. It's kind of like, well, you're welcome to check out some of the other live streams and stuff. So, uh, happy to happy to hear from you there, but on our channel. But like I said, I might post, but I might not. I'm just gonna kind of play it by ear. And if I do, I probably won't be able to associate with the comments super much. It depends. It depends how much that would feel like I'm being distracted from getting what I want to hear from it. Although if I talk over it and but I'm recording it, when I watch it back, I might still be able to hear both, and that would be good to be able to help routine some of this stuff. I might make notes. I'm not sure, but with my scribbles, sometimes it's like, would I be able to read them afterwards, or would I? How long would I want to use a pen before my arthritis? Uh, doesn't want me to. So yeah, no, it might be a good idea. It won't probably be long streams, but that could be fun. Since I'm gonna have that, yeah, since I can, most likely I can. It'd be nice to do one outside of the usual environment for us, right? So even though I'm more used to it because I live here, you know. But so yeah, I think I will do that, you know. And then the other thing won't take very long. The other day there, and then the other thing that's a few hours. So yeah, I might just wait. I feel mixy, but it's open to anybody. I might just wait and try and talk to this person I've been trying to reach by voicemail in person when I'm there for something else before that date. 12, still like 6 days before. And if she gives me, oh, there's not enough time to plan that, I'll say, what do you have to plan? You tell me yes, I bring 3 or 4 Christmas songs, possibly my accompanist, and then it's just a matter of at what point do we do it. Certainly not during the ceremony. Well, not because of the type of ceremony that is. We're going to want to eat, but maybe during or after the lunch, you know. So I'm glad that I have some things coming up. I'm looking forward to it. As far as the eye can see, uh, Christmas stuff though, yeah, like I say, I almost want to repeat it now because it's coming to mind, but nobody's here to hear it by the looks of it. So maybe I won't. So maybe I won't. Oh yeah, but I think it's leaning a lot more than it used to. But I do have to run upstairs. I may or may not be under 5 minutes. I wouldn't be much over 5 minutes probably, but you know, and like I said, sometimes it does happen. Or for an hour, almost two, things can pick up. It really shouldn't take that long, but sometimes it does for the reasons I mentioned earlier, and that's not really anything personal. So I need a pull and thread. Get that joke, by the way? Anyway, um, I'm thinking I'm going to wrap up. You know, even though it's, again, not necessarily personal, I mean, a lot of people, there hasn't even been that many people at the top viewing. So, and you know, maybe the ones that did come, their device died or something came up around them and they couldn't stick around. But still, it's not been that motivating that there's hardly been anything happening here in 47 minutes. So, any conversation or likes? Well, there's been a couple, I guess, but yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up. So, Melody tells me otherwise. Part of me says, "I'll wait a couple more minutes, just in case." And yeah, so basically, one thing I wanted to also say is that for anybody who, I guess I'd put it out this way, for anybody who is lonely around the holidays, looks like you left. Maybe you did. I'm going to finish what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to wrap up. Oh, looks like either you're back or somebody else is here. For anybody who's lonely around the holidays or feeling isolated, or feeling like they need to talk about the stress that they're going through at this season, the feelings that they're feeling, even if you do have a busy holiday season, and that, or if you don't celebrate, and like I say, this kind of is the same as the first, but if you don't celebrate, but everybody around you're celebrating, and you're like not sure what you want to do this year, you're welcome to come to our content and chat. Notification thing doesn't always behave, but we try and look anyway at the content and see if there's anything that we've missed. And sometimes it does. Plus, we might just simply be rolling live. So you can catch us then in real time, as I think they call it. But that'd be really funny if it was Danny's friend that just tuned in, because actually I think his is called In Real Life. You know, the internet can be just as real, or sometimes, you know, mostly what it has, and it's just a different format. But and there are a lot of similarities between online and offline. But anyway, it looked like there was somebody that was going to stick around for a moment there, and if you're still here, feel free to comment or put a like. I'd appreciate it. I'm on the laptop. I don't know if you would have put hearts or uh, I don't think they have smileys. I don't know if they would show on the screen or not. I can't remember. I usually use a laptop. I should remember, and I see the option myself to put them. But yeah, welcome to put a like or a comment. I don't know. Maybe things are being wonky. I'm not sure. I would love to know. Uh, but and I am seeing the two I put and one others. So uh, I'd be curious to see. Okay, but it just flickered and went again for a few seconds and then went. So it does make me wonder, though. Like, I'm not for sure if it's the same person, but it makes me wonder if somebody is actually trying to tune in and be here. So give it a couple minutes more. And then I'm wrapping up. And that's, of course, the chat. Because, I mean, I definitely feel it. Like, I had a bit of a mild headache this morning. I definitely feel like I still have this cold. But, and I probably sound like I do. But my throat's not that sore, surprisingly, after doing this. And my nose isn't running that much. I don't feel sneezy, just a little bit plugged, a little bit, yeah, heady. But I don't know if I sound cooler this way or not. But yeah, sun went in a slight bit, but not much. But it's interesting because just when I thought I was going to wrap up, somebody had came in and stayed for like 2 or 3 minutes, as opposed to a few seconds. So that was optimistic. Again, I don't know what happened. I don't know if they were having some sort of wonkiness on their end, or if they had to plug in their phone. So they went out of it because they're like, oh, my device is about to die. But then I'm like, oh, but I want to. No, I better just charge my device. Maybe, maybe. So I'm going to wait till 54, I think. Because, yeah, just sitting here waiting and just sitting here with silence, and also when I want to go upstairs, is not necessarily enjoyable, motivational. It's interesting. I really talk to say kind of my one main point, but I obviously found other stuff to talk about too. So, kind of like I say, so that's good. And I know that recently I said I was going to do that karaoke thing, and then that I didn't. But I am going to be doing these things. I mean, one of the things I paid a bit of money to do. I am going to be doing these upcoming things, and I just have to verify actually something about one of them. And so yeah. Anywho, it's not quite 54 yet, but it will be by the time I get this wrapped up here. So, okay, bye bye.